Welcome back students. Welcome to a new video of Sunanda's tutorial. As I have already told you, I will upload a video on nomenclature and classification of plant kingdom at 9 p.m. So here it is. Let us discuss. First of all, nomenclature. What is the meaning of nomenclature? Nomenclature means simply naming of an organism. When it is the naming of a plant, it is known as plant nomenclature or botanical nomenclature. What is binomial nomenclature? Carolus Linnaeus first proposed a idea that scientific name of an organism should be composed of two Latinized words, where the first one is of the genus and the second one is of the species. The first genus is called the generic epithet, then which is followed by the species name, which is specific epithet. Then, for example, the scientific name of sugarcane, which is Saccharum officinarum, where Saccharum is the genus and officinarum is the species. There are some examples where the generic epithet and specific epithet are same. For example, gorilla, gorilla, katla, katla, etc. There are some rules of binomial nomenclature. There are different or separate international codes for different branches of this botany and biology. First one is International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, which is simply meant for naming plants. Zoological nomenclature, which is simply meant for naming a animal, so on. There are some rules which were set by Linnaeus, which are as follows. The scientific name of plant and animal should be in Latin because these languages are officially dead. They are not used by anyone else now. So he said that you should name a plant or animal in Latin or Greek language. Then the scientific names prior to 1st August 1758 for animals of Systema Naturae and 1st May 1753 for plants of species Plantarum by Linnaeus are not recognized. These names should be italics when in printed form, but when you write those names on your copy, it should be underlined separately. Genus and species should be underlined separately. Then the genus starts with capital letter and species in small letter. The genus name comes first, which is followed by the species name. The scientific name with name of the author at the end is called complete scientific name. That means ora is a sataiva Lin dot. That means Lin dot for Linnaeus. The name of the author should be placed after the scientific name of the plant. Then only one valid name is acceptable for one plant or animal. Then what is double citation? Double citation means when two scientists separately or independently proposed the name of one plant. For example, in case of Euphorbia pulcherrima, wild X closed, it indicates that Close first published the name, but the main credit goes to Wild No. Here it is mentioned as Wild Dot. He is known, the main credit goes to him because he identified that species. So the overall name is written as Euphorbia pulcherrima wild dot X closed. Then basionym. Basionym is the new name is always based on the older name, which is known as basionym. For example, the basionym of Piscia abyss is Pinus abyss. At first, that means previously, abyss species is placed under Pinus genus, but now it is placed by another botanist under Piscia genus. So it is the basionym. Then to avoid the confusion, two generic names should not be same. However, two species name can be same. For example, in case of Mangifera indica and Tamarindus indicus, it means that two species are Indian. Here two species name are same, but the species genus name are different. So genus name should be different, but species name can be same. The reporting of a new species of plant should be accompanied by Latin description or diagnosis. When a plant species is reported, the author should submit a herbarium sheet. What is herbarium sheet? Herbarium sheet means it is a sheet or it is a paper where when we collect a unidentified species, we should press or preserve it on that paper for our future use or future reference, and it should be placed with its complete description with medicinal use. Then it is designated that herbarium, that plant on the herbarium sheet is designated as type specimen. It can be holotype, it can be isotype, it can be paratype, it can be topotype or lectotype. So what is this term means? This meaning of these terms I will explain in my short videos. For now, you just remember these terms only. Then classification. What is classification? First of all, we have to read some history behind this classification of plant kingdom. First, Aristotle proposed a classification system for living organisms, and he categorized the whole living organisms into two groups, plant and animal, on the basis of morphological characters. Then Linnaeus, he classified living organisms to two kingdoms. One is Planty and the second one is Animalia. Ernst Haeckel proposed a three-kingdom classification in which he classified all unicellular eukaryotes into a separate kingdom, which is Protista. So his three-kingdom classification, one is Protista, one is Planty, one is Animalia. Then Copeland proposed a four-kingdom classification. He included Monera kingdom, a separate Monera kingdom. So according to him, all living organisms can be categorized into four groups. One is Protista, one is Monera, one is Planty, and one is Animalia. Next, two-kingdom classification. It was proposed by Carolus Linnaeus in 1735. He classified all living organisms into two kingdoms. One is Animalia, the second one is Planty or Vegetabilia. He classified all organisms on the basis of nutrition and locomotion. He published this system of classification in his book Systema Naturae. Then five-kingdom classification. It was proposed by Robert Whittaker. According to him, the whole living organism can be grouped or categorized into five kingdoms: Monera, Protista, Fungi, Animalia, and Planty. What is his basis of classification? Complexity of cell structure, complexity of body organization, mode of nutrition, their lifestyle or ecological role, phylogenetic relationship, etc. So he classified the all living organisms into five kingdoms: Monera, Protista, Fungi, Animalia, and Planty. Then the first kingdom, which is the kingdom of prokaryotes, Monera, it is the first kingdom of five kingdom classification. These are generally microscopic prokaryotes. That means we can't see them in our naked eyes. Then Moneras are mostly unicellular but mycelial or filamentous, as in case of nostoc, or it can be colonial. Cell wall usually present except mycoplasma. The cell wall is composed of peptidoglycan or murin. True nucleus is totally absent. Membrane bound organelles are also absent. Genetic material is simply a circular DNA without histone proteins, and they lie in the center of the cell called as nucleoid. That is not true nucleus. More than one structural genes are arranged together and regulated in unit called operons. Ribosome is 70S type. Cytoskeletons are totally absent. Flagella, if present, consist of flagellin protein. Nutrition may be autotrophic. It can be phototrophs or chemoautotrophs. Or they can be saprotrophic, may be parasitic, or may be symbiotic. I will also describe these terms in my short videos. Then reproduction may mainly occur by binary fission. That means simply one mother cell will divide haphazardly to form two daughter cells. Then sexual reproduction by gamete formation is totally absent. In some cases, genetic recombination occur. They are important decomposers and mineralizers and help in recycling of nutrients in biosphere. Next, the Protista, kingdom of unicellular eukaryotes. It is the second kingdom of 5-kingdom classification. The members are unicellular and colonial eukaryotes. Most of them are eukaryotic and constitute the plankton. Then their eukaryotic cell body contains membrane-bound cell organelle like nucleus, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, etc. They have cilia, flagella for their movement, which show 9+2 arrangement of microtubules. That means if we cut a section of that flagella, the microtubules arranged in a pair-like manner, and 9+2 means two flagella. That means one pair is present in the center and 9 doublet present around them. On the basis of nutrition, this protist can be grouped as photosynthetic protist, which are protist and alga like diatom, dinoflagellates, euglenoids, generally which are constituting the phytoplanktons of any aquatic ecosystem. Then consumer decomposer protist, generally which are known as slime molds. Then predator protist, which are known as protozoan. Asexual and sexual modes are present. Then fungi, which is the kingdom of multicellular decomposers. The members are achlorophyllous, that means they lack chlorophyll pigment, so they can't produce their own food by itself. Then they are spore-bearing eukaryotic thallophytes. They are thallophytes because their plant body cannot be categorized into stem, leaf and root. It includes unicellular yeast and multicellular mycelial form, but not slime molds. Slime molds are included under Protista. Cell wall composed of chitin, which is the typical fungal cellulose, a nitrogen containing carbohydrate. Their mode of nutrition is saprophytic, that means they depend on the other dead or organic matter. Parasitic, that means they depend on other living organism for their nutrition. They can also live as symbiont. Symbiont means associated with other living organism. Live in association with other living organisms. For example, in case of lichen, they are present as symbiont with algal group. Then they help in decomposition of organic matter and in recycling of minerals. Vegetative reproduction takes place by fragmentation, fission or budding. Asexual by formation of motile spores, which is zoospore, and non-motile spores like conidia, oidia, aplanospore, chlamydospore. Then sexual reproduction occur by oospore, ascospore, basidiospore. Sexual reproduction generally involves 3 steps. One is plasmogamy, where the protoplasm or living content of the cell of motile and non-motile gametes gets fused. Then karyogamy, fusion of 2 nuclei. Then meiosis of zygote, producing haploid spores. Fungi include Phycomycetes, and under Phycomycetes, mucor, rhizopus, albugo, etc. present. Under Ascomycetes, Saccharomyces, Penicillium, Aspergillus, Claviceps, Neurospora are present. Under Basidiomycetes, Agaricus, mushroom, Ostelago, Poxinia are present. Then Deuteromycetes. Then Planty group. Planty kingdom is the multicellular producers. Their members are multicellular, eukaryotic, chlorophyll containing. A few are parasitic, for example Coscuta, partially heterotrophic such as insectivorous plant. Then their cells are eukaryotic with plastid. and cell wall is composed of cellulose. Life cycle exhibit alternation of generation. That means they alter between a diploid sporophyte and haploid gametophyte. Planty include algae, bryophyta, pteridophyta, gymnosperm and angiosperm. Then the last kingdom, which is Animalia. Animalia is the kingdom of multicellular consumer. The members are eukaryotic, multicellular, heterotrophic consumers. As they lack chloroplasts, so they cannot produce their own food. So they depend on other for their nutrition. Their cells lack cell wall. They contain glycogen or fat as reserve food material. So this is all about your 5 kingdom classification, your 2 kingdom classification, about nomenclature and classification. In my next class, I will discuss other topics which are present in your SSB TGT syllabus. So thank you, stay tuned and enjoy my videos like this.